Can you tell me how to get away from Sesame Street? Hey everyone, this is Ravady's Blog and welcome to my Top 10 series. So today's Top 10 video I'll be doing today is my Top 10 Creepiest Segments from Sesame Street Part 2. And before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel. Alright everybody, it's time to get on the social media train. Want to chat with me in 100 words or less? Then check out my Twitter account. Want to talk about movies, TV shows, and video games within the group? Then check out my Facebook account. Want to check out some of my ultra cool fan art? Then check out my DeviantArt page. Want to get the lowdown on everything that's happening on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So last year I did a top 10 list of my top 10 creepiest segments from Sesame Street, and as I promised, I will be doing a part 2 to this, so here's part 2. And if you want to check out part 1 to this series, then check out part 1 to my creepiest Sesame Street segments. So it's amazing that for over 50 years, this show still manages to have a lot of creepy segments, and I'm always happy to go into these segments because I like to see what kind of creepy segments Sesame Street have over the years and just be able to talk about them. But before we get into this list, here are a few things you guys should know. First off, this list is based off of my personal opinions. So there might be some segments that's not on this list, or there might be some segments that you guys think I should have talked about. So if there are any other segments that you guys think I should talk about, please let me know in the comments down below. Second, there will be some massive spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen any of these segments, you might want to check out these segments first before watching this video. Third, there will be some disturbing images in this video, so if you don't like creepy looking imagery, you might want to proceed this video with caution. And fourth, if we reach 500 views for this video, then I would do a top 10 most obscure shows on Nickelodeon. So please feel free to talk about this video with your friends, or please feel free to spread this video through Twitter or Facebook or whatever other social media you guys have. So let's get started with this list. So this segment, 10 Little Greeblies, is about a group of creatures called the Greeblies who are each being taken out one by one, and basically this segment is meant to teach kids how to do subtraction. Now the reason why this particular segment is so low on my list is because even though there are some creepy moments in this segment, I did find this segment to be overall mostly funny and interesting, so I didn't find it too scary, but there were two moments in the segment that made it a bit creepy to me and made this list, and that was the fact that two of the Greeblies ended up getting eaten by a mouse and a fish. And I usually don't take well to characters being eaten on screen because it's just so disturbing to me whenever a character gets eaten on screen. So the fact that we see this mouse and a goldfish eat up two of the Greeblies was really creepy to me. So Felines was this segment where it has this mouse character who's singing about all of his feelings, and right behind him we have a group of cats who are showcasing all the different feelings that the mouse is feeling, and that's basically what the segment is all about. So this segment made this list because of the art design of the characters. Like the mouse looks okay, but the cats behind him just look so creepy to me, especially the cats that have the sharp teeth and they're like grinning at the audience. I did find the art design of this particular segment to be downright disturbing, and even the animation itself was a bit uncanny, so I did find this segment to be a bit creepy, mostly because of the art design of the characters. So Yuri the yak just basically has a yak named Yuri just eating yogurt, and that's basically what this segment is all about. The reason why this segment was pretty creepy to me was just how the song was. Like the song just sounded so distorted, and then you have Yuri the yak himself, who's like this big yak who's like just eating yogurt, but then we had to have extreme close-ups of his face, and some of those extreme close-ups was just really disturbing to look at. So I did find the segment to be a bit disturbing because of the extreme close-ups of Yuri the yak and because of the music itself. So the ogre head on the hill was the segment where it starts off with a serene look at a hill and everything looks fine until later on in the segment it's revealed that there's a face on the bottom of the hill that looks like an ogre, and that's how the segment ends. And I always found this segment to be really disturbing because just how we suddenly see a face that pops up at the bottom of the hill, and I thought that that face looked really creepy, and it was like sort of a slight jump scare to me because it's like I didn't expect the face to just pop up at the bottom of the hill like that. And also the animation looked a lot like Monty Python's animation. Like if you haven't seen Monty Python's Flying Circus before, you notice that there's a lot of animated segments where they have characters who are cutouts and they just look so disturbing. And it's the same case here where the face at the bottom of the hill just looks so disturbing to me that I just found this segment to be really creepy because of that. So in this segment, it starts off with a bunch of toys being shown at night, and we see all these mechanical toys coming to life. And then the second half of the segment has us experiencing how a rocket is being made, and that's basically what the segment is all about. I found this segment to be really creepy because not only was the music really creepy, but the toys themselves were very creepy. Like the toys looked like something that came out of somebody's nightmare, and I always found this segment to be disturbing because of how these toys look like. I didn't find the rocket segment to be that disturbing, even though the appearance of the machines were a bit disturbing, but the reason why this segment was so creepy to me was basically because of the mechanical toys themselves. So the I-beam is just basically having the letter I being made inside a steel making plant, and then we see some hot molten steel being poured over the I, and that's basically what the segment is all about. So the main reason why this segment was pretty disturbing to me and why it's kind of high on my list is because of the music. I mean, the music is really disturbing to listen to, as it sounds like the I is being tortured in this segment rather than us just seeing how a steel I is being made. Just listen to the music for yourselves. But yeah, I think that's the main reason why I was disturbed by the I-beam segment, was mainly for the music and the fact that it looks like the eye is being tortured throughout the segment, even though we know that it's just an eye being made out of steel in this segment. So Alphabet Jungle is basically reciting the alphabet to the audience, why it takes place in the jungle, and it shows us a wide array of animals being shown throughout the segment, as well as a little girl who pops up at the beginning of the segment to introduce the audience to the Alphabet Jungle. Now, the reason why this segment was pretty creepy to me was because of the art style. So for those of you who don't know, Klasky Csupo, the creators of Rugrats and Our Monsters, were the ones responsible for animating the segment, and it really shows in the segment their art style, especially when you see the girl at the beginning of the segment, and she looks like one of the many characters that you see in a lot of Klasky Csupo cartoons. But the most disturbing part of this segment was when the rhino just suddenly drops from the ceiling and lands on one of the letters, and I just found that moment to be really disturbing. So Claymation E is basically a claymation short that's showing us what kind of words you can make out of the letter E, like Eaton or elephant or eagle and stuff like that. And that's basically what the segment is all about. The reason why this segment was so disturbing to me was because of how it was being animated. Like, the claymation characters just look so unnatural and so creepy to me, especially the clay figure of the eagle himself. I think he's like the creepiest character in this entire segment. And also, another disturbing thing about this segment was the music itself. The music just sounded so distorted, and you just have to hear the music for yourself. So here it is.
E is for eagle. Eagle eats.
But yeah, overall, this segment was really disturbing to me because of the claymation itself and because of the music. So this this segment is basically showing us the letter V, and it's showing us the different ways that the letter V can be used, like it could be used on the violinist and many other things. And that's basically what this segment is all about. So you guys are probably wondering, why is this segment so high on my list? What is so disturbing about showcasing the letter V? Well, there was this one moment in the segment where we're shown the violinist and the letter V is shown as his eyebrows. But the problem with that is that it made the violinist look so evil, or look so disturbing. And I was actually taken aback by how evil looking the violinist looked with the letter V over as his eyebrows. So I did find that part of the segment to be downright disturbing, and that's why this particular segment is so high on my list. So in this segment, we see a bird who's sitting on the mountain as he's trying to brush his teeth. And then we see these hands come out of the mountain and try to help the bird brush his teeth. And then towards the end of the segment, the bird is singing towards the toothbrush, where the toothbrush is also singing towards the bird. And that's pretty much this segment. Why is it every time I talk about the most disturbing segments on Sesame Street, they always involve birds, despite the fact that one of the main characters on the show is a big bird? The reason why this particular segment was so disturbing was because of how the bird and the hands in the mountain look. Like, the bird looks so disturbing in the segment because he has teeth, and anytime you see teeth on a bird, it just looks downright disturbing, and this segment definitely clarifies that. And then you got the hands coming out of the mountain all of a sudden. I felt that was really disturbing, and it just made this particular segment really disturbing to watch, and probably the most disturbing thing I ever seen come out of this show. So those are my top 10 creepiest Sesame Street segments, and it's amazing that this show still managed to have a lot of creepy segments over the years, and I'm still able to find a lot of these creepy segments, and I'm still able to talk about them on this channel. So hopefully next year I'll do a part 3 to this series, where I do another top 10 creepiest segments from Sesame Street, and I'm really excited to uncover some more disturbing segments from Sesame Street. So that's my top 10 creepiest segments from Sesame Street, and tell me in the comments down below, what were some of the creepiest segments you've seen on Sesame Street? And what were some segments that I didn't include on this list that you think I should have included on this list? Please feel free to comment down below. Oh, and guys, don't forget, if this video gets over 500 views, that I would do a top 10 most obscure Nickelodeon shows list down the line. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rowdy's Vlog, and I'll see you guys later.